The biggest story shaking the political foundations today is none other than Emmerson Mnangagwa's desperate bid to outmaneuver a looming impeachment vote. And at the heart of it all, our favorite ZANU-PF proxy in opposition clothing, Sengezo Chabangu. But before we dive headfirst into the swamp of land for loyalty, weaponized warfare, and plot twists darker than a ZEC blackout, let's take a quick lap around Zimbabwe, where corruption is a full-time job, audits get ghosted, and even irrigation schemes come with body counts. We begin with a $13 million black hole at Zimpapers. Yes, the state's very own mouthpiece for presidential propaganda has been caught with its financial pants down. An internal audit revealed that this massive chunk of money has vanished without a trace, supposedly spent on broadcasting projects, including equipment that cost US $4 million on paper, but in real life is barely worth a quarter of that. Former Zimpapers executives who were conveniently booted after resisting the audit are now claiming over $1 million in exit packages. And in typical Zimbabwean fashion, a forensic audit is now being commissioned, which we all know is code for delay, distract, and eventually declare a spreadsheet error. Until then, the board has put in an acting CEO, and Star FM, H Metro, and the Herald will continue gaslighting the public on a budget they can't even balance. In the wild, wild west of Mashonaland, where rivers are gold-lined and ministers moonlight as mining consultants, former Norton MP Themba Mliswa has blown the whistle on what appears to be a full-blown eco-heist disguised as river rehabilitation. According to Mliswa, a government-approved project to restore the Sanyate River, Carbs Den Consolidated, is under siege from a syndicate that includes illegal miners, rogue cops, and none other than the Minister of State for Mashonaland West, Marian Chombo. The accusations are spicy. Chombo, along with top provincial police officers, is allegedly colluding with gold dealers to sabotage the environmental project and instead carve up the river for personal profit. Illegal earth-moving equipment has already been spotted chowing through riverbanks under the name Leisure Fresh Private Limited, a company with no paperwork, but lots of apparent protection from Magunje police, who seem more interested in arresting environmentalists than illegal diggers. Mliswa, clearly fed up, wrote to everyone from Kazembe to Zak to the president himself, laying out how the police are actively obstructing his team while allowing illegal miners to operate freely. Even more damning, he claims the arrests are part of a smear campaign to frame him and his project partner, Central Committee member Edmo Kandira. It's your classic Zimbabwe twist, where protecting the environment becomes a criminal offense and those who tear up rivers get state escorts. With cops, politicians, and gold involved, it's no wonder rivers are drying up. They have been mined for both gold and morality. Meanwhile, in the brainy corner of the Republic, economist Dr. Eddie Mahembe has decided to play national therapist, penning an open letter to Nelson Chamisa and Hopo Chingono, the Batman and Robin of Zimbabwean resistance, currently squabbling like estranged siblings at a family funeral. In his letter, Mahembe appeals for unity, reminding them that while they may have different roles, one a politician, the other a journalist, the common enemy remains ZANU-PF. And he even references the Liberation War alliance between ZANU and ZAPU and Mandela's collaboration with Desmond Tutu, urging them to stop blowing out each other's candles and start lighting the path forward together. Whether this latter ends up sparking peace or just a fresh Twitter brawl, only time and hashtags will tell. In more polished PR news, Afreximbank is almost done constructing its shiny new $100 million trade center in Harare. Yes, you heard that right. While local clinics struggle for bandages and kids still learn under trees, the capital is getting a fancy regional trade hub that will change the skyline. Because nothing screams economic progress like glass towers rising over broken pavements. The Harare project joins a series of similar hubs in cities like Abuja, Kampala, Cairo, and even Barbados. So, at least our capital will look the part even if the economy underneath it is still auditioning for IMF pity. And now to Mashingo, where tragedy struck during one of the First Lady's programs at Rupike's irrigation scheme. Chief Nyajena-elect collapsed and died while seated directly behind Auxilia Mnangagwa. In a scene straight out of a horror movie dressed as a government event, the chief fell to his death under mysterious circumstances, the second chief in that area to die under unexplained conditions in just over a year. Last time, it was the acting chief in 2022. We are not saying there is a case at these gatherings, but maybe it's time someone audits the itinerary, or at least checks the sitting plan. Now back to the main event, Sengezo Chabangu's courtroom resurrection. In a shocking, but not really, ruling, Harare Magistrate Marewananzo Gofa declared that Chabangu's expulsion from Triple C was null and void, citing procedural flaws in the way the party's National Council went about it. This ruling, conveniently timed just as whispers of Mnangagwa's impeachment grow louder, reeks of a judiciary doing backflips to protect its political overlords. After all, this is the same Chabangu who recalled elected MPs without any real mandate, greased the tracks for ZANU-PF by triggering by-elections, and was then rewarded with, you guessed it, a whole 2,000 square meters of prime urban land and some cash to go with it. This isn't justice. It's state-sponsored performance art. We are watching Mnangagwa use every instrument at his disposal, land bribes, ghost MPs, and courtroom puppetry to stack the odds in his favor before the impeachment vote hits Parliament. MPs are being promised land, cash, and political immunity in exchange for loyalty, plus extended terms. The Speaker of Parliament conveniently disappears. Parliament is adjourned under shady pretenses, and all the while Chabangu is being quietly reinstalled to help mop up any dissent within Triple C ranks. Make no mistake, this is not about legal procedure. This is about regime survival, plain and simple. The Triple C is being gutted from within by a man whose political career was manufactured in State House, blessed in the courts, and now shielded by the Land Ministry. Every ruling, every plot of land, every recalibrated legal technicality, it all leads back to one man trying to cling to power beyond his expiration date. And the worst part? They think no one notices. That's where we come in. Subscribe to Zimwaves TV, the last remaining voice bold enough to roast this entire political puppet show. Land scams, ghost audits, chiefly tragedies and all. Because in Zimbabwe, when truth is outlawed, satire, becomes a survival strategy.